Good afternoon. A former senior detective says police should look into whether Swindon murderer Christopher Halliwell was involved in the disappearance of the chef Claudia Lawrence. Former taxi driver Halliwell has already been convicted of murdering 2 other women. The man who helped bring him to justice, Steve Fulcher, says Halliwell's father lived just a few streets away from where Claudia went missing in York 7 years ago. A memorial festival is underway at a pub in Didcot to mark what would have been the 20th birthday of murdered teenager Jayden Parkinson. She was 17 and pregnant when she was killed by her ex-boyfriend. Money raised from today's festival will go towards the charity Jayden's Gift, which supports women trapped in abusive relationships. Police in Dorset are trying to find relatives of a man who's fighting for his life after being hit by a car near Monkey World on Friday. The collision on Tout Hill has left 82-year-old Alan Thomas in a critical condition in hospital. Officers are struggling to find his next of kin. Hundreds of people lined the streets of Lyndhurst in Hampshire this afternoon as soldiers marched through the streets. 17 Port and Maritime Regiment Royal Logistics Corps are based at nearby Marchwood, and today they were given the freedom of the New Forest. Penny Sylvester reports.
This was a day for the Army to celebrate their connection with the New Forest. The regiment is based at nearby Marchwood.
Responsible for the strategic shipping and the port maritime capability both in the UK home base and also overseas. It means a great deal to the regiment, not just because of the national job and the national role that we hold, but because we both live and operate in this local area. Whether we use the local businesses or whether we enjoy the support of the local community, looking after our children, our families, and indeed what we can give back to the local community as well.
Giving the regiment the freedom of a district is an award that has become a mark of trust and confidence between the armed forces and local residents.
It means an awful lot to us as a council. The 17th Port Regiment are very important to this community. They help the economy. They help in many other ways within the New Forest with the young people and other areas. No, it's a privilege, and they work very hard for it, and we feel very strong that they should have it.
This regiment can now march through the New Forest district on all ceremonial occasions, with swords drawn, bayonets fixed, drums beating and colours flying. Penny Sylvester, ITV News, Lyndhurst.
A former Labour MP from the South says he thinks the party is unelectable under Jeremy Corbyn, and he doesn't believe the Labour leader when he says he wants unity. Our political correspondent Phil Hornby reports from a very divided Labour conference in Liverpool.
The morning after the day before, Jeremy Corbyn's position is now stronger than ever. His critics in our region more despairing than ever.
Do you still think under Jeremy Corbyn they're unelectable?
At the moment, I think it's very difficult with the general public who've not been talked to at all or listened to by Jeremy Corbyn in his office to see how we could win an election.
Labour has just 3 MPs in the south, in Hove, Southampton and Oxford. In Tony Blair's heyday, they were into double figures. Repeating that success would be a hair-raising task. But the message from many here is they can only do it if they stop the squabbling.
I just think we've got to get on and deliver for the people who elected us, and they don't like to see a party that isn't united. They don't really care about internal divisions, quite frankly. They've got other things to be concerned about.
Mr Corbyn's called for unity too, but
When he talks about the need for unity, you just don't believe him?
I don't believe him. I think it's going to be an overworked word during this conference. We've seen a lot of talk in the last 12 months actually, but not very much action.
Mr Corbyn's supporters say disgruntled MPs and former MPs are out of touch with the party membership. Disgruntled MPs say Mr Corbyn is out of touch with ordinary voters. It's going to be a long few days here at the Labour conference. Phil Hornby, ITV News, Liverpool.
The television presenter Zoe Ball and her DJ husband Norman Cook, better known as Fatboy Slim, have announced that they're to separate after 18 years together. The pair, who live in Brighton, married in 1999 and have 2 children together. They've said they remain great friends and will continue to live on the same street. Drivers were warned of delays today as Sussex Roads Police escorted lorries carrying huge pieces of wind turbine through the county. The parts will be used for the Shepham wind farm in Polegate. Well, let's have a look at the weather forecast now with all your details. Here's Philippa.
From puddles to paddling, driving through Europe. Eurotunnel the Shuttle sponsors ITV Meridian weather.
Hello there. Well, it's been a fairly changeable weekend and staying fairly unsettled for the next few days. Further spells of rain to come, but at least for the time of year, it will be fairly mild. Back to you tonight then. Today's showers soon fading, clear spells for a time. But as the night wears on, thickening cloud and the first signs of some rain will start to edge in from the west. So tomorrow morning, a pretty cloudy start all round. Outbreaks of rain possible just about anywhere, all fairly light and patchy at first. But I think through the afternoon, more in the way of persistent rain creeping into the west. Here it could be heavy at times and temperatures struggling, especially so in the breeze, 17 or 18 the high.
Eurotunnel the Shuttle sponsors ITV Meridian weather.
Thanks, Philippa. That's it from the weekend team. We're back with Good Morning Britain tomorrow from 6 a.m. Join Amanda if you can. But from the rest of us here, have a very good evening. Bye-bye.